Brothers and sisters, John the Baptist in the gospel for this second Sunday of Advent makes an appeal to you. Prepare the way for the Lord. Make straight his path. Every valley shall be filled, every mountain and hill shall be made low. These words are the words taken from Isaiah chapter 40, verse 3. Isaiah was speaking to a people in exile. He was telling them, we are going home. We have been in exile for so long, and our God is moved by our pain and the tragedy of our history. So many of us, Isaiah said, have died. You remember the people sang by the rivers of Babylon. How can we sing the song of God when we are aliens living in exile? So Isaiah said to the people, we are going home. Our God is going to bring us home. Let us now prepare the way. Literally, they had to clear the wilderness. They had to find their way to their home. But it was God who led them. And Isaiah was telling them the need for them to follow the Lord. And these very words were stated in a similar way by Moses during the time of the Exodus. In Exodus chapter 14, Moses told the people, in the midst of your suffering, in the midst of the confusion, in the midst of this enslavement, this tragedy of our history, God is taking us to the promised land. And the people asked Moses, how can this be? And Moses said, God will make a way in the wilderness. God will bring you home by God's own mighty hand. I will bring you home on eagle's wing. I will bring you to myself. Brothers and sisters, the early church was also called the people of the way. And in the gospel today, the prophet John the Baptist talks about preparing the way. But Jesus tells us, I am the way. Does that tell you something? We do not know the way. God knows the way. God has already made the way. Just like he led the people in the desert by the cloud and by the light, leading them even in paths that they did not know. So God is leading you. So indeed, God knows the way. But what is it that then John the Baptist was saying? That God knows the way, but we don't. And God is showing us the way, but we don't see it. Because our ways are crooked, because there are many mountains, many obstacles blocking our way, because we have so many valleys, so many pain in our heart, so many emptiness. But John is saying that way that God knows, that we have literally messed up, is now time to repent so that the way can become clearer to us, so that the path can become straight, so that God can enter into our lives as we are entering into the life of God. This Advent, I invite you to embrace your own incompleteness. For we as Christians, we are Advent people. What does it mean? We start things and we believe and we hope that those things will work. You build up a business, you start a family, and you believe that it's going to work, that your effort will be rewarded. You go to bed at night, you believe you wake up the next morning. Christians are Advent people because in spite of our own incompletion, in spite of our inadequacies, in spite of the limitations of our human effort, we believe that God will complete in us what God has started in each and every one of us. And that's why we are Advent people who wait upon the Lord always to fulfill in us God's promises, to perfect in us the work that God has started. We are invited today to think of those things that are obstacles to God's operations in our lives. And what are the valleys? What are the things that create these holes in your heart, that you have no sadness, that you have no happiness, and you're filled with sadness? The prophet Isaiah, in Isaiah chapter 1, verse 14, gives us a clear lead here. He says, take away your sins, cleanse yourself of sin, so that you can see and behold the glory of the Lord. In Isaiah 59, the same words are said again, that whereas God's people are building, clearing the way so that God can enter, clearing the way so that they can walk with God, the wicked are destroying, creating holes, building obstacles so that God's people cannot walk. Isn't that what happens in our world today? So you must ask yourself a question. Are you among those who are helping to clear the way so that God may enter into the life of people and into your own life? Whether you are holding a spiritual leadership position or you are working in offices, whatever position you have in the family, in the office, as a politician, are you creating the way or are you blocking the way? Are you building or are you destroying? Are you filling in valleys or are you opening valleys, creating problems for people or helping to bring solution, showing them like John? John was the finger of God, pointing, behold the Lamb of God. But in order to behold the Lamb, in order to enter into this union with the Lamb, you must prepare the way. You must make straight your path. You must become open, transparent, honest with God and with others, so that God can enter into your heart, so that God can enter into your home, so that God can enter into the entire reality of your life. Brothers and sisters, as we journey, let us remember that we are people of the way. Secondly, the great reversal that the Prophet Baruch talks about in the first reading is true for us. God is always going to turn around your reality. The people who originally heard these words were living in exile. And Isaiah says, God is coming. God is going to take you home. We are going home. And Jesus is our home. He's inviting us to come home to the source of life so that we can find inner fulfillment. He's inviting us, return to God, return to love, return to compassion, return to mercy. Come and walk with me. Hodos, yes, the way. Jesus is calling us. Come, walk with me along the way. And if you let Jesus walk with you this Advent, he will lead you to places of joy, of fulfillment, success, prosperity, mercy, healing, grace, and all that your hearts desire. Amen.